Hello and welcome back to another week of Open Mic Night. So glad you guys made it. This week we talk about Microsoft's new Surface Pro 3. We talk about some iPhone stuff, some new Apple rumors, and I give you guys a pick of the week and more, so stick around. It's going to be a good time. All right, so welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to another week. I'm so glad you guys made it back. To all you new people out there, I've got some new marketing schemes in the mix, so we might have some new people watching this week, and I'm very excited. Welcome to you guys. This is a product of WeagerTech.com. My name is Mike Wieger, and I'm your host. And in this show, I talk about some news that I think you guys will like, and I also give you guys some picks of the week, things that I like, and sometimes I even give you guys a tip of the week, something that might help you out. But that's about all this show is. But I hope you guys stick around. I think it's a good time. So about those new marketing things I'm doing, so this happened this week. I don't know if you guys have seen this bad boy driving around town, but I added a new window decal to my car, and so that's my new marketing thing. I don't know. I figure I want to kind of get you guys' feedback. Let me know how you guys feel about window decals. Do you guys go to the websites that are on some cars? I know I do, and so I thought, it might be a new effective way. Obviously, I know that this is only going to be effective in my one town that I drive around in, but who knows? The more viewers, the better. And speaking of that, I am just looking to spread the word about this show as much as possible, as well as my other tutorials and all the things I do over at Weager Tech, my other podcasts, my other tutorials, and all that stuff. So if you guys could please hit that like button on the YouTube page and even subscribe, that would be great. That really helps me out, and that'd be very generous of you guys, and I would really appreciate it. But obviously, you guys aren't going to like the show unless I give you guys some good content. So let's just jump right into the news, huh? All right, so Microsoft has just released their Surface Pro 3. So if you guys aren't familiar with their Surface is kind of their iPad laptop combination. So it's like a tablet. It's got, it's very slim, very skinny, but it runs all of Windows. So you can run an actual Windows machine on it. It uses the Metro interface usually, but you can also use it as a regular laptop. Now, with this Surface Pro 3, Microsoft is really trying to get at that laptop market. With the original Surface, everyone kind of said they were trying to take on the iPad and take on the tablet market, but they were also offering more features. So if you would have an iPad, or you could have an iPad that also runs a full desktop Windows. And so that was kind of what they were doing with their first Surface. But with the Surface Pro 3, we're starting to see that they might be wanting more of that maybe MacBook Air type market, the very thin, very portable laptop that's also very powerful. And the reason we're seeing that is because they made the screen bigger, they added better processors, and it's a lot more expensive. So let's get into the specs. The old Surface 2, that was at a 10.6-inch screen. It was running at a 1920 by 1080, which is 1080p. And their new one is up to 12 inches, so just 1.4 inches bigger, but it's running at 2160 by 1440. So it's a bigger screen, you got more real estate, but the biggest thing is really the processors. You can get an i3, an i5, or an i7 processor, which is an extremely good processor to have in such a slim, style computer or device. So that's really what's going to power these big machines, and that's what's making me think that they are going after the laptop market in this more than the iPad market. So for those, it's going to be about $1,300. If we look here, we can see here's the Surface website, and the model I have clicked on right now is a 256 gig i5, and that's going to run you $1,300. And so that's kind of the middle of the road Surface. I can't remember what the lowest priced one was, but that is the price for that. And so you can see, you can get all the way up to a 512 gig hard drive i7, which is a very, very powerful machine. And if you get it in that slim form factor, it could be a very good competitor for your laptop. Now, the one criticism is still that the keyboard is still not that great. The keyboard on that thing is the detachable keyboard. You guys, I'm sure, have seen the commercials where they're clicking the keyboard in to the Surface. That's really the only downside of this machine. Obviously, you guys know I'm a huge Apple fanboy, so I'm still going to like that MacBook Air a little bit better than the Surface, but I have to admit, I have not played with the Surface. I played with the old one, the Surface Pro 2, but I have not played with this new Surface Pro 3, so it's yet to be decided how good it is. But it is a very good option if you guys are looking for kind of that portable. If you guys are in the Windows market, you're looking for something that can be a tablet, but also be a super powerful computer. I mean, at 256 gigabytes and an i5, my iMac runs an i5 processor. So I know you're not probably going to have the gigahertz behind that, but you're going to have that processor, which can still be a very, very powerful machine. You're going to be able to do a lot of stuff on that. So it might be a very good option. If you are a Windows user and you do like the portable market, it might be something you want to check into. That is the Windows Surface Pro 3. So the next thing I want to talk about with you guys is kind of more of a conversation instead of a news story. It's really about mobile payments. So mobile payments is kind of taken over. Everyone's talking about it. They're all wanting to know how the future of paying for things is going to work. Right now, obviously in the United States, we're still on the credit card with a magnetic strip on the back, and we're swiping it, and we're usually signing it. The swipe and sign method is really the big deal. Now, the United States is really far behind the rest of the world in this. Most other countries are going to a chip and PIN card, which if you guys have seen those, people actually in the United States might have them already, but it's a card with a chip on it, and you slide it in, and then you enter a PIN number. So the chip and PIN is kind of a newer process that the United States just hasn't adopted yet. But really, I'm not here to talk about the actual physical process. I'm here to talk about what's going to happen with mobile payment on the phone. So a lot of people want to know, how am I going to be able to pay for things? I'm carrying this phone around everywhere. We should be able to use it for payments. Now, NFC, near field communication, is a way that a lot of people thought the phones were going to go to. And a lot of Androids did go there, and some of them still do. The NFC is a special radio inside the phone that really, when you get close to something, it's kind of a string of coils that when it gets really close to something, it can activate a activity in your phone, and that could be payments. So a lot of the Androids are saying, we're going to put the NFC in there, and that's going to be how you're going to pay. But a lot of people are wanting to know what Apple's going to do, because Apple really hasn't touched this market yet. But what I think Apple is going to do, I think Apple's going to go with their iBeacon technology. Now, iBeacon is just kind of Apple's branding term for a much broader sense of all it is low-powered Bluetooth. So Bluetooth, all you guys know, it's a thing that you connect your Bluetooth headsets for. It's a thing that connects your keyboards to your computer. It's the wireless technology that has still a pretty good range, but doesn't use much battery at all. And so the rumor is that Apple is actually going to tie in paying with your iTunes account. So you got to think about this. Apple has a ton of credit cards already in their system. You all put it in there when you buy things on iTunes, whether it's the App Store, whether you're buying music, whether you put it on there, to buy stuff in the actual Apple Store. If you put your credit card in there, they've got pretty much everyone's credit card number who owns the phone. And so we think that would be a great way. So if they do this low-powered Bluetooth, iBeacon, as Apple has coined it, you could have an iBeacon inside a little register, inside the little, where you swipe your card. You could get your phone close to it. It could activate a payment app or something in the iPhone, and you could just pay with the credit card using your iTunes account. Now, people, one, really like this because it's not given direct access of that credit card to the terminal. And two, people like it because Apple's pretty trusted. We trust them with our credit cards. They haven't done anything yet to spoil that. No, I'm not saying they're not going to, but I'm saying as of yet, they have not done anything really to spoil it. So why not trust them now? Now, the thing about the iBeacon technology, a lot of people think that these little iBeacons, these Bluetooth devices that are in the terminals, in other people's computers, in buildings and stuff like that, can receive data, but that's simply not true. iBeacons simply, on a little burst, they're spurting out, I think, 3 different numbers, and they're just constantly doing that. And phones, if you have an app that's looking for those numbers, looking for those things, it's going to activate it in your phone, but those iBeacons can't actually receive any data. So a lot of people are worried about security and saying, hey, my phone's going to be sending all this data to these iBeacons, and that's simply not true. It would be using everything in your phone. So an iBeacon triggers an activity on your phone. It doesn't actually send any data back to that iBeacon. So that is one thing that I actually recently learned. I was one of the people that actually thought these iBeacons could receive, but I did a little research, and those iBeacons, as of now, are not receiving data. They're simply spurting out numbers, which triggers an activity in your phone if your phone is looking for that. Obviously, the big thing with mobile payments is, will it drain my battery? And do I have a solid internet connection? Because to be honest, since you're not sending any data back to that terminal, your phone's doing everything. So if you don't have a solid internet connection, if you're in a bad spotty cell area, if your phone's out of battery, you might be out of luck. And if I have to carry a phone that has to have battery, and if I have a chance I'm not going to have battery, I'm still going to have to carry a wallet, right? Because I don't want to have to rely on my phone having battery for me to be able to pay for something. I want to be able to just have that backup. So for me, I'm not sure how this is going to go forward. A lot of us carry chargers around anyway, so for some people it might work for me, I tend to run my phone battery down every day. I tend to probably use my iPhone right down to the end. And if I'm buying something at the very end of the day, I don't want to be at the risk of losing that. So I'm still going to have to carry my wallet with my credit cards in it. But that's just something I want to talk to you guys about. I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to get in on this conversation, talk to me on Twitter. It's at @mwieger. Just let me know what you guys think about mobile payments. What do you guys like? What do you not like? What do you want to see happen? What do you don't want to see happen? Or you can always email me. My email is mike@wiegertech.com, or just head on over to my website and you can head over there and do the contact me thing and just let me know what you guys think. I love having these conversations about stuff like mobile payments because everyone has a different view on it. That is simply my take. I do think Apple's going to go ahead and do it with their Apple IDs when you sign in because they already have their credit card information. But again, a lot of this stuff is rumored. And I did want to let you know that based on my iPhone 6 conversation last week and this conversation about mobile payments, you guys got to remember that I don't work for Apple and I don't have any insider information on what's going to go down. This is simply rumors, and we all love rumoring about Apple. And you got to also remember that if you go to Apple and you ask them about these things before they announce it, they're going to say they know nothing. They are very tightly sealed over at Apple. And number one, most of the small-end employees at the retail stores probably do know nothing. And if they do, they're under a very strict contract not to say anything about it no matter what. So even up to 5 hours before the big release day, I think that they're not going to say anything. So just remember that. I got a few emails kind of in confusion, like, hey, I went, I asked people and they didn't know, I thought you said, this is all rumors on this part. But for the mobile payments, it's kind of something that's been in the motion, in the works for a while. Apple didn't go with NFC. So that's why I'm kind of thinking they're going to use this iBeacon technology that they've been using a lot. So the next story I want to talk to you guys about is that Wwdc is coming up in the first week of June, and I am super pumped. For those of you who don't know what Wwdc is the Worldwide Developers Conference from Apple. Now, we have no idea what Apple's going to announce. Everyone has gone back and forth about what they are going to say, what they aren't going to say, and we've talked about, obviously last week we talked about the iPhone 6 rumors, but I don't think they'll announce that at WWDC. I think they'll wait for a fall announcement or a late summer announcement as kind of they usually do, and then a release maybe in September, October, November, that time frame. But one thing they're saying that they might talk about at WWDC is home automation on the iPhone. They're going to start opening up a lot more apps and a lot more features that will allow your iPhone to control things in your home. Be that, power. Obviously, the basic things are turning lights on and off or locking the door, to even more advanced things like turning a sink on, turning a sink off, those sort of things. A lot of those things are popular now, and a lot of their companies are doing them. But the rumor is that at WWDC, Apple is actually going to talk about some more advances in the home automation with your iPhone. So that is something to watch out for, something to be excited for. I cannot wait for the open mic night. That's going to be, I think it'll be 2 weeks from now. That'll be after WWDC. Should not be next Tuesday, but it'll be the week after, is that we'll know everything that came out of WWDC, and I will give you guys a full update on that because you guys know I love Apple products. I'm trying to diversify my news a little bit by not strictly sticking to Apple, but it is my favorite company, and so you guys are kind of stuck with me being enamored with Apple news. So the final piece of news I want to talk about, it's actually a few weeks old. It might even be a few months old, but I forgot about it, and I want to tell you guys because it's something that slipped into my email, and I noticed it, and then I totally forgot about it. But Skype has reintroduced group video calling. Way back in the day, they had it, and then they made it a paywall. They said if you want, I think it was Skype Premium or something to that effect, you had to pay for the group video calling feature on Skype. But that is back, and it is free. All you have to do is make sure you are running the latest version of Skype. So whether you're on Mac or Windows or the iPhone or the iPad or anything like that, run the latest update. So you have the update, and then group video calling is free again. And it actually works pretty well. I have tried it. Me and my all my old college roommates, we still use Google Hangouts because that's what we got used to. When Skype wasn't free, a lot of us, we still want to have a group video, and so we use Google Hangouts, which I really like. But I just wanted to tell you guys that Skype video group calling is back. Like I said, I got an email about it, but I didn't really see anything in the news about it. It didn't get picked up as big as I thought it would because, Google Hangouts is really one of the best. I know there's a few other software programs that do out there, but it is the best and most widely used group video calling for normal people, for non-business people. Obviously the businesses are using stuff like GoToMeeting and Cisco and companies like that. But for you and me, people like this who just want to talk to friends and family and have a group video conversation, Google Hangouts is great, but also Skype video call is back. So that is what I wanted to let you guys know about. So that is it for the news this week. And we are going to move on to a tip of the week. And this week I have a tip of the week and also I have a pick of the week, which isn't tech related. But the tip of the week is tech related. And I saw this today actually on a Reddit page. I saw it in someone's comments and I think it kind of actually got overlooked. The one thing I want to tell you guys is if you find an iPhone or an iPad and it's locked, a lot of times we think there's really no way to find the true owner. Even if you take it to Apple, they say that they can't find the true owner. If you take it to the police, they're just going to, discard it really. They're going to put it in the inventory and then probably discard it after a while. So if you guys find an iPhone and you want to get it back to its rightful owner, which you guys really should, if you find one, someone's missing it. You guys know how much you'd freak out if you lost a phone. So you should trying to find the true owner. But if it's locked, a lot of times we think, we're kind of out of luck. And that's what I thought actually. But there's a feature that if it is set up right, can actually help you identify who the true owner is and so you can contact them. If the person has the ability for Siri to be used when the phone's locked, which, I have mine set that way by default. I think it is by default because I've never changed that setting. I have a password on my phone, but when you use it, Siri is still available by holding down the home button. And so if you just hold down the home button, activate Siri, and say, who owns this phone? Who owns this phone? Okay, so I'm not going to show you guys this. Maybe I'll just flash it real quick, but because it has a lot of personal information about me. But what it did is it says, this iPhone belongs to Mike, and it pulls up my contact information. And so it has my phone number, which obviously wouldn't do any good because they have the phone, but it also has my email, it has my address, it has, mine has my Twitter handle and my Facebook name. And so it just gives a few options for the people to contact me if they want to find the true owner of this phone. Now, it's one thing I didn't know about. There's no other way to really see the contacts or the content of that phone without getting past the password. But Siri will tell you who owns that phone, which is a really, really nice feature. I really like that. Now, I tried this at work. I did it, and it worked. And then I had my another person who works with me do it, and her phone said, I don't know who owns this phone. And that is because she hadn't told Siri yet who she is. And so one way, you got to tell Siri what contact to point to say, hey, this is my information. And so the way you do that is you go to your settings, go to general, and go to Siri. And there is a little button that says my info. Click that. And if you have yourself in your contacts, click yourself. If you don't, make yourself. So make you put in maybe a secondary phone number, put in your email address, put in, Twitter, whatever you want them to see. If you want your address in there, that's great. And just that way Siri knows who you are. First of all, there's a lot of other benefits to Siri knowing who you are. She's able to access a lot of your other data and help you out. You can do such things as program, who is my mom? Who is my wife? My son. And so that enables things like when you tell Siri to call my wife or, call my son, call my grandma. Siri knows who it is because it stores that stuff in your contact information saying, okay, these are the links to the people I'm going to be calling. But the second biggest feature is obviously if your phone is lost and someone knows about that feature and they ask Siri, Siri will know who you are and it'll pop up that contact information and show you. So I thought that was a very, very cool feature that I did not know about that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to be making a tutorial video about it all later, so if you want the fine details, look forward to that. It's probably going to be out tomorrow night because I really just want people to know about this because obviously it doesn't do us any good if someone finds the phone and doesn't know about that feature. So go ahead, go in, tell Siri who you are, and make sure that Siri is enabled even through the passcode lock, and hopefully if you ever do lose your phone and the person wants to be nice and give it back to you, they can find you and contact you and let you know they have it. So that was one of the tips that I want to share with you guys. And the second tip I want to share with you guys is the fact that I love DollarShaveClub.com. This is my pick of the week. I have a baby face. I mean, obviously you guys can tell. I don't have to shave too often, usually about, it's about once every 2 days, mainly because it gets all patchy and it just looks really weird. But I have loved Dollar Shave Club since really they came out. And they have kind of 3 pricing tiers, and I'm showing you it right now. There's the $1 a month, the $6 a month, and the $9 a month. So you guys do know how expensive the blades can be for your razors. I mean, obviously, it's like $30 for a pack of 5 razors. And nowadays, you can't even go and just buy the pack of razors. You have to get an employee to come unlock the little thing, at least by a lot of the places by me do. They have to come unlock the little rack that's holding the razors so you can even get them out. So they're really overpriced and stuff like that. But so DollarShaveClub.com, I do the $6 a month, and it sends me 4 blades every month. and they come right to your door. They're mailed to you. And so 4 blades for $6 a month. And for me, what I do is there's an option for every 2 months because I don't shave too often. I do the every 2-month feature, so it saves you a little bit of money. But yeah, 4 razors to your door. They send you the handle for free. It's a really nice metal handle. And then they also, you can add in an option. I would highly suggest the Dr. Carter's Shave Butter. It's their shaving cream, and you can add that in, and that just will come whenever you order it. So if I say I'm out of it, you just click it, and it'll add that into your next box. And it comes in a really cool box. It comes with a nice little pamphlet of, why you're going to the restroom, things you can read. It's just a really fun company, and they're not a sponsor of the show at all. They do sponsor a lot of other shows, but I just want to tell you guys about it because I love them so much, and they really saved me a ton of money, and I really, really do like it. So that is my pick of the week. That is Dollar Shave Club. Go ahead and check them out. I figured I'd give you guys a pick of the week that wasn't tech-related because I give you guys way too much tech. So, but obviously that's what this show is about. But I thought, hey, you guys, especially, you guys out there, but women also like this blade. My fiance borrowed it one time, and she actually really liked it. It worked well for her. So even the women, men, you can all share them. They're a great set of razors to use. So yeah, that is dollarshaveclub.com. So that's about it for the show. I really want to encourage you guys, if you do want to give back to the show, I know a few of you have still emailed me asking about that. I do have a website that you guys can go to. It is a company called Patreon.com. Patreon allows individual creators like me, small content creators who don't have enough to get the ad revenue, to really go out there and let the customers, let the people like you, the fans, give back. And so this is patreon.com/WeigurTech. Head over to that website, and you guys can support me for as little as $1 a month. For a candy bar a month, you can support the show. I have a bunch of different features of what you guys get when you donate different amount. I think I have $1, $5, and $25. Each of those levels get you something different from me. I will give you guys some extra features if you support the show. Don't feel like you have to. All these shows are going to stay free, but it is an option, and I would be extremely grateful if you guys went over to patreon.com. I'll put that website up there one more time, patreon.com/WeigurTech. And if you guys would give to the show, I would be eternally grateful. It just covers the costs and everything of running the show because it is a hobby of mine, but I do love doing it, and I want to be able to continue doing it for you guys. So that wraps up this week in Uyghur Tech. This is the open mic night, like I said. Come back next week. We are on every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We do a live show. A lot of you guys are still watching this show after the fact on YouTube. That is totally fine, but it's kind of fun. Come join us live. It's just fun to watch live, fun to see it, and fun to know that I'm doing this show right now while you guys are watching. It's kind of ominous for me, knowing that if I really mess up, there's no going back. There's no post-editing in this show, if you guys knew that. There's nothing I can do. Once I say it, it's recorded and it's live, and then it's processed by YouTube. So come watch me live. Come make me sweat. But it's fun. I love doing this show for you guys. So I will see you guys next week. But until then, tech on.